Islamic State's self-proclaimed Caliphate wreaked destruction over 3 years in Syria, with many of the country's ancient sites completely destroyed. The following images are the latest from the ancient city of Palmyra, which was a landmark battleground in the fight against ISIL. But now the country is on the brink of victory against the terrorists, and the reconstruction of damaged sites is due to begin soon. That's after government forces, along with their allies, retook the last big urban area held by ISIL at the city of Abu Kamal. Here's what the Syrian military command had to say.
Units of our armed forces, in cooperation with paramilitary and allied forces, have liberated Abu Kamal city in Deir ez-Zor province, the last stronghold of the Islamic State terrorist group in eastern Syria. This achievement is highly significant as it represents the beginning of the Islamic State project's collapse in the region.
RT's Murad Gazdiev now taking a closer look at the cost of victory over terrorism in Syria.
When the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria declared statehood in 2014, the world was not ready. No one knew what to make or how to deal with these seemingly bloodthirsty zealots. Their very brand was terror. At the time, it seemed like ISIS came out of nowhere. It seized a huge amount of territory. It had its own army, its economy, currency, laws and courts. Tens of thousands worldwide came to join it. The international community eventually reacted, with the US cobbling together a coalition to resist ISIS.
I can announce that America will lead a broad coalition to roll back this terrorist threat. Our objective is clear. We will degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL.
ISIS suffered its first major defeat in the Syrian city of Kobani. We were there filming the US airstrikes, and I remember it as an incessant barrage that all but pulverized Kobani. There, ISIS lost many of its veteran fighters. Oh, that didn't stop them. They enjoyed many more victories, but not the overwhelming success of the early days. Things would get worse soon. In September 2015, Russia joined the fray. It was the beginning of the end for ISIS. Within half a year, ISIS suffered a hugely symbolic defeat in the ancient city of Palmyra. The going was rough. ISIS had its comebacks, but the trend had changed. Russia also began bombing the jihadists' oil trucks and tankers, their cash source. And as those trucks burned, the Iraqis and Kurds, backed by the US-led coalition, attacked ISIS's biggest city, Mosul. It would be a long and deadly battle waged by two successive US presidents, a battle that would leave a city of 2 million a devastated wreck. Whatever the cost, those coalition airstrikes worked. They beat ISIS and would use the same tactic on the ISIS's Syrian capital, Raqqa. The final nail in the Caliphate's coffin was the Syrian army's offensive on Deir ez-Zor, a city that ISIS besieged for 3 years. It is when you go there and look the locals in the eye, speak to the people that suffered so much, that you understand why this sacrifice to beat ISIS has been worth it. This is the final chapter.